Alert, alert, boys. Attention, everyone. Arsenal have conceded a goal. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever you're listening from. Thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from three friends who support different clubs. My name is James. I support Arsenal. With me tonight is Brad. He supports Chelsea. Down below is Sean. As ever, he supports Tottenham Hotspur. Gentlemen, good day. Hello. How are you?
I'm feeling much better than last week. I'm feeling like 4 places higher.
Yeah, James, why do Arsenal suck?
Yeah, brother, I've been asking that question since 2005. On very rare occasions do I get to say they don't suck, but yeah, this week I'm back into the doldrums. Though, as we will get to later, I was the only person who accurately picked the Arsenal result in our picks. So I'm just saying, I might know a thing or two about my team. And before we get into all of the minutia of round 11 of the Premier League, if you could hit that subscribe button, ring the sub notification bell if you're on YouTube. If you're on one of the podcast sites, hit a follow, rate, review, whatever your platform so allows. Drop a comment, whether you're on Spotify or YouTube, wherever you're at. Drop us a comment. We'd love to hear from you, hear what you're thinking. And in the description of the video or the podcast, wherever you are at, you could join our Discord and chat with us at any and all times. And so, yeah, that's what you can do. Watch to the end. Help us defeat Google and put Red Card Radio straight to the moon. Right, boys?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, yeah, so we are in an international break, as it seems like we have been every month for the last 3 months, because, spoiler alert, we have been. But luckily for us, after this one, we won't have another one for, I think, until March, something like that. So we're about to go through through a long stretch with no break, which is nice. But we are at the international break. 11 games have been played by all teams, and so we're just kind of trucking along in our new Premier League season. And personally, selfishly, I would like to start with Arsenal tonight. Do you guys object?
Let's do it.
Any objections?
No, I'm down.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really spoken that much about Arsenal. I try to avoid talking about Arsenal every week because I don't want it to feel like, as the host of the podcast, I don't want the co-host to feel like I am just shoving my team down their throat all of the time. And to be fair, Arsenal have been boring.
The majority of the season, it's just been business as usual.
Yeah, Arsenal have been tremendously boring over the last 10 weeks, which is good for me, which I've enjoyed Arsenal being boring. The most excited Arsenal fans have gotten over the last 10 weeks or so, the last, 40 days, has been, will Arsenal concede? And ladies and gentlemen, it happened twice against Sunderland. Sunderland took the lead against Arsenal early in the first half, took Arsenal until the second half to claw their way back in. Great goal by Saka. Honestly, it was great pressing by Declan Rice to steal the ball and then get it up to Saka and score. And then I don't know where Leandro Trossard gets these things from, but he scored a screamer. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to see it, but you should go check it out.
It's good for that.
Yeah. I mean, every time that man scores, he reminds me that he is by far the best Leo in the entire world, bar none. Greatest Leo playing football. And then we concede at the death, like in stoppage time, to draw the match, and it feels like a loss. Like conceding in the 95th minute or whatever it is feels like a loss. And so, especially after fighting back to take the lead and everything, I think Arsenal played very well. Set piece FC scored 0 goals from set pieces in this match. So
against the championship squad.
Okay, your team lost to this championship squad 3 weeks ago.
I'm joking.
I think Sunderland are planting their flag. in the Big Six. They planted their flag on Chelsea's face,
Yeah, true.
and then they planted it in your yard. At least they only planted it in the yard.
Well, it was certainly in Chelsea's face because they planted that
was at the
flag at the
bridge.
bridge. At least we dropped points at the stadium of light.
Okay,
Yeah.
but still, I mean, it's
yes, a great result.
It's been impressive. It makes me scared to play them.
Last time they were in the top 4 after 11 match days, 2000, 2001.
Whoa.
We were dealing with the Y2K bug.
Whoa.
Last time they were in the top 4 this deep into the season.
I mean, let's be honest. I think all of us feel okay. Let me speak for myself. I feel like Sunderland are a Premier League team, like a proper Premier League team in the same vein that West Ham, Crystal Palace are to me. Like they should be in the Premier League. They should be knocking it about in and around mid-table every year, pushing maybe for that Conference League spot. That's how I view Sunderland as a club. I have been missing Sunderland. Not that I specifically like Sunderland as a team, but more for like the grand picture of the English Premier League. I feel like it's a better product for Sunderland to be in the league.
Well, it's kind of how I felt about Nottingham Forest and Leeds coming back up. It was, these Nottingham Forest more so, but
really,
because Leeds' demise was their own doing, right? Like that was them falling on their own sword. They did that to themselves.
Well, yeah, they were poorly run economically.
Was Sunderland too?
Yes.
Well, yeah, Sunderland.
But no one has dropped like Leeds dropped.
Correct.
From the Premier League recently. Leeds went into administration, didn't they? Yeah, but didn't Leeds
borderline administration? Yeah. But I think they dropped.
But I guess
to League One very quickly.
I guess my point about Forest is that I don't think any of us were watching football or paying attention to football when Forest were in the top flight. Like it had been like 30 years or something like that when Forest came up. We all became English football conscious around the mid to late thousands, and Sunderland were in the league at that point. And so like that's to me that's what informs that feeling for me, is that I feel like Sunderland should be in the league. Now I don't have that same feeling about Stoke, but that's a different that's a different feeling, and I have different emotions towards Stoke. Which we don't need to get into until they come back to the Premier League. But yeah, so I don't know. On a whole, I'm glad that Saka scored. He hadn't scored from open play in the Premier League since like April or something like that. And so maybe like that doesn't necessarily matter to me personally, but people had been boohooing him on the internet. And so I'm disappointed. Disappointed that we draw the match. Feels like a loss. The only silver lining from that was the fact that City and Liverpool were playing against each other, and they both couldn't take 3 points from a match where they were facing off, right? Because to me, it feels like the title will ultimately be won by either Arsenal, Liverpool, or Manchester City. That's just my opinion. I don't know what your guys' opinions are.
Chelsea's right in there. Like we're missing our best player, and we're third in the Prem.
If Chelsea's in there, then Tottenham's in there. We're on the same amount of points. We're missing our best player, so
we're not on the same amount of points.
He's not going to be back the entire year, so that doesn't really matter. So it's not the same thing. James Maddison is not going to be back. So
don't Chelsea have 2 more points than Tottenham?
We do. We definitely do have 2 more points than Tottenham, and we're missing Cole Palmer, who might have to start in the middle because of how good Estavio has been playing.
I mean, to be fair,
his position? Mean his natural position? Yes. Yeah, his natural position.
No, he's been playing on the right this season. He's been playing on the right more. With João Pedro's been playing as the 10 behind Delap. When everybody's fully healthy, Delap's at the top, Pedro's in the 10, Palmer's on the right, and probably Garnacho's on the left now.
Yeah, you have so many players. This is a FIFA problem. You're just putting people on the field out of position just to put them on the field. Yeah. So Cole Palmer's position is not a right winger, but he is good there. So you play him there,
right? So this is gonna be technical, but like
João Pedro is not a 10,
he's the inside forward,
but he can do it. because
been,
Delap can't. So that's the way. João Pedro is actually the 9, but Delap can't play the 10.
Sure.
So, anyways, it's a FIFA
however
problem.
Well, the problem is that you're not playing 2 strikers. You're playing 3 across the front, and you're trying to also accommodate a 4th attacker in the midfield.
Yeah.
Potentially a 5th attacker. I mean, Chelsea are, in theory, if I am to believe the internet, Chelsea have the best defensive midfielder in the world in Caicedo. So, in theory, if Chelsea's defense were healthy, and you had Colwell and Fofana and all the whole squad was available, you could just play the greatest defense in the world with Reece James and Colwell and Fofana and whoever you would have on the left, and then just put Caicedo in.
Still there.
Gusto, sure, yeah, Gusto, that guy, yeah.
Cucurella.
Oh, my bad. Cucurella, yeah. Cucurella, the best left back in the world. And then you would put.
I didn't say that. You're putting words in my mouth.
I'm not putting. They're not your words, Brad. I'm putting. This is the internet speaking for Chelsea. And then you put Caicedo, who is the best defensive midfielder in the world, and that's all you probably need. So you could either play Pedro and Cole Palmer, or Cole Palmer and Enzo Fernandez, or Enzo Fernandez and Pedro, whichever combination of those 3. Plus Caicedo, you pick 2 of those 3, and then you just play whoever you want across the front, and clearly, right?
I know you're being funny, but at the same time, it's not. You're also probably not wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
because Caicedo slides back, and then you can use Reece James up and down the right side. Yeah, I mean but for us to be as close as we are to the top, with all of those injuries have happened, our squad building is actually finally decent.
Let me ask you.
Our squad building. You guys have spent £1 billion in the last 5 years.
Yeah,
I was gonna ignore it.
I know he was. I know he was.
What is this?
Our squad building.
Yes. Okay, Sean. What's your question?
Let me ask you something, Brad.
Yeah.
If Caicedo is the best center defensive mid, best defensive mid, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
If he's the best in the world, why does Paulinho have better stats than him at exactly what a defensive mid should be doing? Interceptions and tackles.
Hold on, Brad. Before you answer this, Sean, did I unintentionally tee you up for this attack?
Yes.
100% you did.
I didn't know that you wanted to go here. I didn't know that you'd been.
I didn't want to.
I didn't know you teed it up. I didn't know you pulled the stats, bro. All right, Brad.
Does he have some more throw-ins?
Your response, Brad.
But throw-ins. No, Danzo and Bergvall take the throw-ins around here, and the fullbacks. Those are the throw-ins. No, he doesn't have throw-ins. No, he's got more interceptions and more tackles, which is what a defensive midfielder is supposed to be doing.
Did we win the game against you guys?
Okay.
So our midfield operated better than yours that day. Did you guys have anything but?
Do Caicedo and Paulinho meet in the middle of the field and have a duel? No, they don't play.
But that's fine.
They don't play 1-on-1 against each other. That's not how it's measured.
Caicedo probably wins that duel anyways.
You've spent $1.5 billion on the rest of the club around him. So I'm just saying that Paulinho is better than Caicedo. I'm not saying the rest of the team. Clearly you won the game, but we haven't spent $1.5 billion.
So that's cool.
I don't even know who Paulinho. Okay, he just hit you with
good for you.
I don't even know who you are. Wow.
Good. I'm glad you don't know. Keep don't knowing.
As y'all go back down to the Europa, he just becomes Spiropa again.
Oh, he's just throwing it. He's just throwing everything out of the bag because I hit him with facts.
Hold on. I got my troll bag right here. I got the troll bag right here.
I hit him with facts, and he's just coming out of the troll bag.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so tackles. Paulinho does have the most tackles.
By a lot.
Because you guys lose the ball so much. How's that a problem?
He's got.
That sounds like a problem for you.
It might be. He's got 15
it's called
more.
A sweeper.
15 more than Caicedo. So that's something. Blocks. This is probably going to be defenders more than anything. Yeah. Tackles. Where is he in tackles? Oh, he's leading the league in tackles. Caicedo. Oh, he's got 9 more than Caicedo. Yo, man, this might be real and true. This might be real and true, Brad.
Oh, okay. I'll look up the Spurs team and see what the Spurs team
I knew
is
it was true before I said it.
I guess I
don't know why this was in question. I knew it was true.
I guess I should look into Spurs now that they have a European trophy.
A defensive midfielder, Paulinho is statistically better. So if he's the best in the world, why does he have lesser stats than some guy you don't know?
Well, when I texted you when we played, I said, "Hey, Sean, I didn't get to watch the game. From what I'm seeing on social media, it looks like this was the Earth is covered by 70% water, and the rest is covered by Caicedo." And you said, "Yeah, that's right." So, like, what? You did say that, and Paulinho was on the field, so therefore Paulinho was covering 0% of the Earth, and Caicedo was covering 30% of the Earth. So, like, you made the argument for me.
I don't know what your percentages are. There's 70% uncovered, but
70% is covered by water. That was the first part of the sentence.
Oh, okay. No, that was because Tottenham, as a complete entity, as a complete club, forgot how to pass,
which leads to more tackles, which leads to more blocks because there's more attacks.
No,
so he has more tackles. He has more blocks. Y'all can't keep the ball long enough.
They couldn't pass.
Control. Tottenham can't control the ball.
It was a one game.
Should we get into the United game?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean,
so like
we controlled it the whole game. And Mbeumo had a great goal. Were
they up in like the first 2 minutes of the game? Or am I crazy?
No, it was not. It was in the 20th or something. In the 20s. Mbeumo had a fluke goal.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
I need to quickly go back to the Caicedo Paulinho drunk guys fighting in the back of the alley fight real quick.
Yeah.
Tackles plus interceptions. So the number of players tackled plus the number of interceptions. Moises Caicedo, number 1 in the league with 60. João Paulinho, second in the league with 58. So if you add the stats together, interceptions and tackles, there's a world where you could make the argument. Just saying. So.
Wow. Look, the Arsenal fan
I'm not defending either.
Is defending Caicedo here. And wait, I did want to say this because the internet, I don't like that the internet keeps comparing Rice and Caicedo because they're 2 different midfielders.
Correct, yes.
They do 2 different things.
Yes.
So wait.
Both be world class. That's okay.
What stat did you say Paulinho was 15 up on?
It was total numbers of tackles, not tackles won. Let me go back and pull up that reopen.
Because I was curious because you said Paulinho was up in 15, then you said he was up in 9. Okay. I don't know how if you combine those numbers, then all of a sudden.
So if we go
how is
if we look at raw numbers of tackles, players tackled, or tackles won. Tackles in which the tackler's team won possession of the ball afterwards. I don't know. This I'm looking at on. It's just if you add tackles and interceptions, number of players tackled plus the number of interceptions. So if we put interceptions, Caicedo's at the top of interceptions, and Paulinho.
Caicedo's just tackling people, but he's tackling it to the opposing team.
No. Paulinho is just not intercepting the ball. So Caicedo,
but he was leading interceptions though.
No, he's not.
Out of position.
Caicedo is leading in interceptions, and I don't even
because he's out of position, so he has to run and make more tackles.
I'm trying to find Paulinho on this list, and I'm scrolling down. Oh, he is 57th. So Paulinho has 9.
Fantastic.
Paulinho has 9 interceptions to Caicedo's 26. So that's where the discrepancy is. When you add tackles and interceptions together, Caicedo is slightly more effective at the joined statistic.
So Caicedo is in better positions to stop an offense from starting an attack, not having to run back and make a tackle.
Paulinho has 7
more.
What we're saying? Paulinho has 7 more clearances.
Again. Again, that's saying the same thing that we are not.
You know
We're
what?
stopping the attack at the
You know what?
beginning, not chasing after it.
Clearly, if you're clearing the ball, you're better defensive midfielder.
This is
That's
the
all.
this is the deepest statistical analysis that Red Card Radio has ever done.
I don't know where there's no punches thrown in this one. We didn't talk about punches yet.
Yes, we didn't talk about goalkeeper punches. Okay.
Yeah.
So back to, sorry for pulling us off that, but back to Spurs and United. That's what we were talking about, right?
Yeah. It's just
it was a fluke goal on Mbeumo, and just missing somebody at the back post for De Ligt, and it can't happen. It was a very Spursy De Ligt goal, but a fight back, a heck of a goal from Tell to bring it level.
That was a fluke goal because it was a deflection.
I mean, this is
he did level it, but it was a deflected goal.
I think what.
But it was a great touch to set up it. Did you see it?
No, I'm reading what happened. You're talking about fluke goals. So a deflected goal seems more fluky to me.
He asked Grok to tell him about it.
Okay, yeah, it was a fantastic first touch. Fantastic first touch to get the shot off. And that's the kind of stuff that I've been expecting of Tell, and finally he showed.
Okay, as the chief Manchester United apologist on this podcast, I would just like to point out.
You're gonna go back to this?
Well, no, my grander point about Manchester United is that they have been good over the last 5 matches, over the last 6 or 7 matches. They have been much better in the last 5 matches than they were in the first 5, right? And so they've picked up 11 points out of their last 15 available. And so they're on a pretty rich vein of form. They're scoring goals pretty much in line with what all of the other big clubs are in the league. Their biggest issue right now is their defense. They're not defensively solid. They leak a lot of goals. And that's largely been under control per se in the last couple matches, at least in terms of the fact that they've been able to win games. They drew the last 2, of course, against Spurs and against Nottingham Forest. But if United can develop more defensive, I don't want to say solidarity because that's not necessarily a good word to use there. But if they can
Martinez is out, right? Still.
Yeah, I'm not sure Martinez gets into the. I mean, he probably does.
He over Luke Shaw.
You think so?
They're playing Luke Shaw at center back.
Yeah,
Martinez slides right into there.
What about? Don't they have some young cat? They've got. Is Yarrow playing? Lenny Yarrow. He's that young French guy who's highly rated. They've got Aiden Haven from Arsenal's academy that they signed.
I think he might be hurt. He might be hurt.
I mean, if United can figure out who their goalkeeper is, if they can get a good goalkeeper, they might mess around and challenge for the top 4. I think there's a world where we shouldn't discount United finishing 4th in this Premier League.
I think you're wrong.
Sure.
You think I'm wrong? Okay.
I just think so. You've just highlighted, and I think we just accidentally highlighted the point of Martinez is out, and they don't know who their goalkeeper is, and their problem is defensive.
Yes, agreed.
So, I was pausing for Brad to elaborate.
They bought Lemons right at the end of the transfer window, and he is now starting.
Yeah, but we don't know if he's any good. We don't know if he's any good.
And he's given out a lot of goals.
He's won.
He's given out fluke goals to Tell, as you told me just a minute ago. So what's wrong with
them? They haven't lost in the last 5 matches since he's been playing.
Well, my point remains that it's just a question mark at the back. So what makes you think that Tottenham don't have a question mark at the back? Chelsea don't have a question mark at the back?
Yes, we do.
I think Tottenham's bigger issue is scoring goals. Is that there's questions about Tottenham scoring goals, whereas United have a pretty robust attack, and they look fair. Now, when I say this, in United and Tottenham have scored the same goals. They scored the same number of goals. That was going to be my point. But I think when you look at on paper, I am more worried about Mbeumo, Cunha, and Sesko than I am Kudos, Richarlison, and Tell.
Well,
Yeah.
my only shout out to United that I was going to give was Ahmed Diallo, who I have been saying it. Man, I'll lift him off United at any time he can come to Tottenham. That kid's really good. And there was a moment from the game where it was I guess I think it was off a corner, so it wasn't traditional defense in the back. It was kind of emergency defender type situation, and it was a breakout and a launched ball, and it bounced, and it's Udogi and Diallo. Udogi's a pretty big guy, and Diallo is not. And he won the header, pushed it forward, went around, and it took Brennan Johnson running the length of the field to clear it for a corner in the box.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, that kind of play, and I'm describing the play very poorly, but that thing's going long,
Yeah,
and it's a foot race. And he got down there, got the head on it off a bounce, and pushed it forward to play it again. And it took Brennan Johnson running the length of the field to save that from a one-on-one. And he's just such a good player, and I would take him at Tottenham any day of the week. Diallo, if you're listening to Red Card Radio, come to Tottenham. We need you.
Can we quickly touch base on this West Ham Burnley match, which we had we had denoted it as another relegation 12-pointer between West Ham and Burnley, and West Ham pick up all 3 points, and now West Ham and Burnley are tied on 10 points at the bottom of the table. The relegation battle will be very, very interesting for spots 18 and 19.
Besides Wolves.
Wolves look generationally bad this year. like they look Sheffield United, Derby County bad. And so we're ready to relegate them now, which is to me, Wolves don't
actually stole a joke from the internet. When someone saw the computer generated table that you put together and you sent to us, you didn't put it together, but you found it offline and you sent it to us. Of like
the Opta one.
The Opta. Yeah. Opta says this is how it's going to end, and it was Wolves finishing last on 29 points, and a Wolves fan took umbrage and said, "This is completely wrong. There's no way we're finding 27 points to the rest of the season." I stole that joke. Even Wolves fans are like, "There's no way we're finding 27 points to the rest of the season."
It's looking bleak.
Yeah.
But Burnley, so from 19th to 14th right now is separated by 3 points. And clearly we're very early in the season. And so like we don't want to paint too broadly. Now I know we just said that we're relegating Wolves and it's only been 11 games. And so yes,
that's okay. That is a very fine stroke of the pen.
It's more than 25% of the game.
That is not painting broadly. That is a fine stroke of the pen.
But like, okay, so Newcastle are that 14th team that are 3 points away from 19th. I don't think anyone thinks Newcastle are going to get relegated. And we might need to.
Maybe we should plant our flag in that.
We need to pull Joel in here in a couple weeks because Newcastle have been on a bad run, and if this bad run continues, there is a world I think where Eddie Howe is sacked in the next couple weeks if Newcastle don't pick up a bunch of points. Anywho. We don't expect Newcastle to get relegated, but I think any of Fulham, Leeds, Burnley, West Ham, we don't really expect Forest to get relegated, but they're down there. They might mess around and get relegated. Everton are on 15 points. Brentford, I think I was really negative on Brentford coming into the season, but they seem like they've recovered. They've recovered exceptionally well from having their team pilfered by Tottenham and Manchester United. So like, you guys stole the manager.
What? Oh yeah. You stole the
manager.
All their best players.
Yeah. Well,
somehow they keep finding people though.
Arsenal took their club captain, but anyway, I think it's something to keep an eye on. I think it's something to keep an eye on. You tried to. You guys ready to talk about picks from last week? Look at the results. Should we pull this up real quick?
Speaking of relegating people on points.
So if we look at this week, tremendously bad from everybody but one person. There was only one person who was above a 50% pick rate. Our highest pick total was 6. So in reverse order, last position this week with only 2 correct picks was your boy Whiteheart _ Sean. Bad week for Sean. Coming in tied for second. All 3 of these guys are tied for second on 4 points. Are Brad, Jimmy, and Chap. They also not a good week. That means I am the only person who had greater than 50%. I got 6 correct this week. I was the only person to accurately predict the Arsenal Sunderland draw. So big ups for me.
Did I get Joel's? Did Joel not pick?
I did not see Joel's picks. I didn't see him in a text messages thread. I didn't see him on Discord. So maybe we might need to amend this if Joel did have picks that didn't get filtered to me in time to put them on the spreadsheet. But if we look at the overall picture, Brad is still in first position on 57 picks correct out of 110. I am sneakily creeping up, which is out of character. I have 54 points correct out of 110. Sean is just behind Jimmy. Jimmy's on 53. Sean's on 52. Chap's coming in at 51. So this is actually a pretty tight. I mean, this is actually pretty decent.
Shout out to Chap, by the way, for picking all the way,
all the weeks. Like we're actually. This is actually pretty decent picks from everybody who's picked every week. So
yeah.
We're doing well. If you want to be involved in the picks, if you want to get in on this spreadsheet, all you have to do is join the Discord. It's linked in the video below. You can submit your picks on our Discords before the games start for the week or after, like everyone else did this week, except for me. So I'm just saying.
Wait, my picks were in before the games were played. They just didn't make it into the spreadsheet. That's my fault. My fault. I will do a better job of getting them in the spreadsheet and in the Discord, but they were made before the first game was kicked off.
My picks went out during the Tottenham game, and you guys knew what I was picking anyway. So
yes. Yeah.
So to be fair,
and I'm also saying that as a kind of a poke at Brad, who was very zealous about trying to say that the picks had to be in by
Friday at midnight.
Friday at 3 p.m. or something like that.
Yeah.
Hey,
a full 16 hours.
My picks generally are no whatever the first game's kickoff is when your picks have to be in by.
He's got fantasy.
And we sometimes have a Friday 3 p.m. game.
He's got fantasy football brain rot where it's like if I don't have my picks in before the games start, then I'm locked. But we don't do that here at Red Card Radio. We are generous and benevolent owners of this spreadsheet. So if you make picks, we'll put them into the spreadsheet. Boys, I think that's what we're doing this week. It's an international break, unless you guys want to have a separate podcast where we talk about Lando Norris or something like that.
I mean, for those that don't know, in a pre-production meeting a few months ago, we did say that we should do an F1 pod as well, but there was one person here who said, that ain't for me.
Well, there's one person.
We'll let y'all figure out who that is.
There's one person here who's already the host of one podcast and doesn't need to be the host of a second podcast, if you catch my drift, Brad. I would come on an F1 podcast and just talk about how awesome Kimi Antonelli is. Anywho, that's all we got. Hit us up. We'll be back next week.
Did he win last week?
Yeah, I think so. Basically okay. He won. Basically, he won.
Yeah, all right.
He won the race he was racing.
That's right. He did. You know what? And so did Colapinto.
All right, that's all we got. We'll be back next week. We're only talking football next week, I promise. Maybe. Hit us up on social media. That guy's at KSBradG. Down below is at Whiteheart _ Sean. I am at James Tiffany. Collectively, you can reach us at Redcard _ Radio. And yeah, that's it. We'll be back next week. I hope you all have a good one. Enjoy the time off. Maybe watch international football or something. I don't know. Or just skip and come back next week to watch Red Card Radio. We'll catch you then.